Thank you so much for being a patron of the channel. If you're watching this later and you are a VIP or a Member Plus, thank you so much for doing this. If you're watching this later and you're not one of those tiers of support, please consider doing that. That is how I do this full time. Membership has been in a not great spot this year because of some developments from the platform. We're trying to fix that. You can help us with that by clicking join and picking Member Plus. So thank you to everybody who has been doing that, and thank you to everybody who has been gifting as well. I'm going to end the previous stream and bring folks over with Redirect. If you can't come with us, check out my latest video on Saros. That video could use a little bit of a bump, and if you like my content and you want to see that video, that one is there and available on the channel right now. Okay, good show. Yeah, vibes are great. Platform and audio is, you know, the audio is something with the codecs, but the platform is just a dadgum disaster right now. You guys have been awesome. We're doing our part. We're just waiting for YouTube to do its part. The turnout was great. Vibe was great. Chat was great. And that's all I can ask for. You know, that's all we can ask for. That's all we can control. There we go. Blue Point's hiring for a third-person melee action game. Yeah, I didn't run that story because there wasn't much to it. I mean, I didn't really know what I could have done with it. There wasn't much there. It's when the news is dry, I could run something like that, but I felt like we had pretty good stories without running a job posting. Job postings are usually a sign that the news is pretty slow. Any final words for Windows 10? No. Yeah, today's like the last day of support, right? Head of Assassin's Creed leaves after 20 years. Maybe we cover that tomorrow. Sucker Punch has said they're next. They're only going to do one game at a time. That actually makes sense. They're not a particularly large studio. I think the larger studios can work on multiple projects at once. I don't want Sucker Punch doing that. That would be no good. All right, let me go in here and name these videos. We had those two duds. What was the first one? I can't even remember. So there was a Black Myth Wukong update. And this middle one is PS6 release date. And the third one is... I have not. Well, no, I might have watched that in a previous stream, Ghost. I feel like I had. Does it have like Bell in the name or something? I feel like I've watched that. Blue Point did the remake, the Demon Souls remake. Greg started working at Rare when he was 18. He's 54 now. I refuse to buy new hardware because of that. You refuse to buy new hardware because of what? Oh, because of the Windows thing? All right, I'm going to do backup uploads as well. We had a problem with this the other day. Actually, I don't even know if that was... I don't know what the problem was. It's called Unleash the Avatar. Oh, let me add timestamps to today's show. Oh, hang on. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I think I got the spot. I just can't tell when I start the talk because I had to do it twice. Okay, here we go. 119. How long was the Black Myth section? It was 5 minutes. So then 124. General discussion. I want to say it was like 135 is when I did the PlayStation 1. $135.31. 135.31 PS6 release date. That was an 8-minute section video. So we'll go 144. General discussion. And then 153.30. Player wipes. That was almost 6 minutes. So we'll just go. There you go. There are your timestamps, boys. Really quick today. Lono, latest Digital Foundry vid. What did they talk about? Uh, 2 hours ago, the leaked FSR 4 NVIDIA Xbox Series X simulation. Okay. Software FSR back compat. Everything's getting FSR 4. Elgato announces new chair, criticizes Herman Miller, Razer, Andaseat, and more for inaccessible price points while charging $500. How much is my chair? Hey, Alex, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Wait, what did you just do? 7. The man. Boom, boom, boom. Right on the nose. There it is.
Chair.
Golly frickin' Gemini Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, you looked.
No, what's the price of my chair?
Oh, it's bad.
What's bad?
The price of your chair. I believe you're sitting in the $800 job.
Hang on.
Which one is that?
Shop now.
That's the X
No,
Pro.
mine's $380.
Yours is the X Pro Yaka Baka Waka.
X Air Series Mesh office chair. It's $380.
But yours has all the extra shit on the back and the bottom.
No, yeah, that's the one I have. I'm looking at it right now. I promise you, it's a $380 chair.
Which one's the one above you?
Huh?
They've got an $800 one. Which one is that?
The X Air Pro is.
I thought that was the one they sent you.
The X Air Pro is $430.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the Pro is the one you're sitting in, because what makes it a Pro is all that extra shit on the back and the bottom. The X Air just has the shit on the bottom. The Pro has all that shit on the back too. Not that it matters. Nobody buying that fucking chair.
Yeah, I guess I do have the Pro. In any case, yeah, my chair is around $400. Either version you get's around $400. It is interesting that they were critical of Andaseat, because that's who we work with. And the mid-2000s gaming chairs came into the scene. These chairs came at a premium price point and were extremely popular and were still sold by a multitude of brands. However, the issue with these chairs, they lack adjustability. You can essentially adjust its height, armrest height, and then you have the recliner on the back, and that's it. And when you're sitting on a chair for hours on end, the lack of adjustability can cause problems with comfort. I mean, the Elgato chair looks nice.
I just don't know about that. I'll be real with you. I don't know about sitting on something made by Elgato. It just sounds like a bad idea, right?
It depends, right? I mean, if they have it sourced and built the way other chairs are built, I mean, a chair is a chair. As long as it has good ergonomics and good adjustability, I don't...
It just seems like a bad idea to me.
It looks nice. I like their one boom. I reached out to them about sending me the boom, and I never heard back. But they're
I have the same thoughts about other things too. Like there's just something about driving a car made by Sony that just doesn't. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like my stereo, my console, okay, yep. My TV, my monitors, okay. A car? I think you might be pushing it.
all that ball pit game from Devolver Digital is out tomorrow.
Oh.
It looks so fun.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. I mean, it looks cool. It's It's an EV of some sort. I forget what they call it. You can drive it with the controller, Trill. You can drive it with the DualSense. I don't know how good of a fucking idea that is.
Yeah, people out here trying to Tokyo drift in their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, man, I'm really good at Gran Turismo, so I'm going to take this car for a spin.
I don't know. This upcoming generation might be better drivers with the controller than they would be, with the wheel.
Oh. It's dry out here.
Yeah, it's looking rough.
We got Sucker Punch saying they're only going to make one game at a time.
Oh, that's newsworthy.
They seemingly don't know what their next game is.
Oh, they seemingly do.
Whatever we do next, whether it's continuing Ghost or going back to the slide, the decision is really more limited by, again, our cherishing or focusing efforts of time to iterate, which means we really can only do one thing at a time.
They're just waiting on Circana to release the numbers. Under this number, we probably go make some more Infamous. Over this number, we start working on the next Ghost.
There was an interview with Game Informer where Ghost of Yotei co-creative director Nate Fox said he would love Sucker Punch to work on more Infamous.
I don't know. You think I made that up? I know.
No, I don't think so. That was the one thing I agreed with. I said Infamous could do very well in this landscape. I don't think Sly Cooper could.
AMD Insider says Microsoft engineers expect them to do all the work.
Try. How about Asmongold dunking on Nicola? Yeah, Zach laid into you. It's interesting that he fixated on the bald part. Glass House is Zach. Glass House is out here talking about being bald.
That's funny.
Glass houses, brother. The next will be Ghosts of Knoxville, starring Lono in his journey as a soccer coach, exacting vengeance on girls that scratch other girls. Yeah, I was ticked about that. King of Hair. Moore's Law is dead, said Microsoft had shopped everyone for the next Xbox, and they wanted the cheapest price for the most power. Dear Lord. That sounds great.
What's shocking about that? Sounds very Microsoft to me. Man, I'm getting pretty deep in the feeds here, and I'm empty-handed.
We have the guy leaving Rare. We have the guy leaving Ubisoft.
Yeah,
and then we have Sucker Punch. That's just not fun to talk about.
That's not news.
Oh, these people left.
People get old. In other news, Water
All
Wet.
right, homie, 54. Then one homie's 54. He ain't leaving because he's old.
He is leaving because he's old. He's leaving because he's been doing that since he was 18 years old. He's like, for fuck's sake, enough.
Oh, I don't agree with that one.
I don't want to make one more Toad.
Y'all playing demos from Next Fest? Winter Burrow's pretty good. I mean, I can't touch any of that. There's not enough volume to touch that kind of stuff. Unless it's like a member stream. And we got that in Blue Point. We got nothing.
We got nothing. I'm telling you, those two dudes retiring, that's not newsworthy. That's a 2-minute conversation, and then everybody's like, "Why'd you even bring that up?" So we've got nothing. We've got Blue Point.
How about the Outer Worlds 2 embargo? I'm happy about that. It's not news. I mean, we can adjust, obviously, and cover it when it happens. It's a day before early access, which is good. AMD Insider says Microsoft engineers expect them to do all the work. What the frick is this?
Yeah, I couldn't resist. It was funny.
The tensions from a highly stressful working relationship where AMD sources express that they felt Microsoft expects them to do all the work. One source at AMD, according to the host, described the relationship as like the president in V for Vendetta on a giant screen screaming at them to get something done. I'm telling you.
While Mark Cerny and the AMD guy are like laughing and chumming it up and making videos together, these guys are going, I wish they'd shut the fuck up. They can't do it. Why do they expect us to do it?
The creator said, according to their sources at AMD, the professional perception is that Microsoft's engineers are viewed as, quote, the people that didn't get hired by NVIDIA. Good Lord. I've never felt good about their hardware after what they did with the Series S. I'm like, these guys don't know what they're doing. They're so misguided. How do you fail so horribly with Xbox One and then do it again?
Because Microsoft, and I think there are probably a couple of people here who can attest to it firsthand. If you apply for a position at Microsoft below a certain level, they are going to lowball the shit out of you. They don't pay well.
Another quote here. In the video, the host explains that AMD engineers like working with Sony engineers. They get lunch together, and they help solve problems together. One stunning unfiltered quote heard by the host claimed that when asked for their opinions of Microsoft engineers, one individual at AMD responded, "Oh, I wasn't aware Microsoft had engineers." Good God. Good God. I'm telling you, I have been saying this. I'm like, they have a severe PR problem over there. No one's going to want to work at the studios under Microsoft. Nobody is going to want to work on your hardware. This relationship with AMD sounds terrible. This sounds freaking terrible. What did I say when I talked about Cerny and the Pro? I said they are worried about the developers. It's like in that scene in The Founder. BJ Novak tells Michael Keaton's character, you are not in the restaurant business, you're in the real estate business. Go after the land. Mark Cerny was like, we are not in the business of just making games for consumers. We are in the relationship with developers business. We have got to get in these people's, good graces. That's who's going to help us soar.
The better environment you provide for the developer and the easier you make it for the developer, the more everything else will just take care of itself.
I wonder if we just, do we react to this video tomorrow? Do we find this section, not the whole video, do we find this section in his video and just react to this section? It's a 2 hour and 20-minute video, right? Do we just go to this section? I mean, holy frick. They've got a section called PS5 Pro's Bad Support. I wonder what that's about. Are they talking about how, like, devs are being, able to do enhancements and then it's like they're bad, like with Silent Hill and stuff? Let me ask AI. Oh, what? Why can't I ask AI about this video? It's a day old. What the frick's going on, YouTube?
Vince Zampella says that the only reason Call of Duty exists is because EA are dicks.
It's going to be harder for Microsoft to get good deals because their demand is not where it needs to be. Their demand is not where there needs to be, and they got a whole lot of stink on their brand. Like, they're in an absolute horrible situation. Like, who wants to go work for their studios right now?
Their talent isn't where it needs to be because they don't create an environment that wants that makes talent want to be there, want to stay there. They have a talent problem.
People will want to work there. People that didn't get a job at AMD, Nvidia, or Sony, which is the joke that AMD literally made. He said that Pro Enhance isn't standardized and he feels it's misleading for PlayStation. No, I completely agree with him. I think when you have 100 games with the label that are all doing a great job and you have 5 that get the label that do a crappy job, everybody fixates on those 5. And it's like, you got to protect against that.
I think that Pro tag, that Pro label, should be treated like a certification. If you don't meet these standards, you can't have it.
It should just get revoked. It's like, oh, hey, we did this stuff. Okay, cool, here's the label. If the week it hits, all of a sudden there's complaints and performance problems, it should get revoked until those problems are fixed. You don't implement PSSR well, we're taking the label away.
Yeah, you can't say that. You're not Pro certified. You can't say that anymore.
Yeah, you can't be implementing PSSR poorly. That reflects bad on PSSR, which is a branded upscaler. It's PlayStation's, and it reflects bad on the hardware. Like, take the label away. You can't have quality control over all these third-party games that you've not made, but you certainly can come back around and take the dadgum label away. Offer refunds to customers? Yes. I think anybody that asks for a refund on something like Silent Hill F and they cite issues with PSSR or the Pro, they should be given a refund. And the label should, I 100% that's how Sony should be handling these situations. They should say, listen, anybody that experienced something bad on their Pro with that game, you're entitled to a refund and we're taking the label away until it's fixed.
If you're going to offer a premium label and your experience is not premium, completely agree. Nope.
Is it on the cases? I actually don't know. I was going to check that right now. I don't think it is. Do they put PS5 Pro Enhanced on the jewel case on the back? I don't know if they do. I can't get a great image of it. Does anybody have the jewel case of either of those games for their PS5? Can you check? Because I'm not seeing the logo. It's a fuzzy picture, but I'm not seeing the little PS5 Pro Enhanced logo on the back. It's definitely not on the front. I'm not seeing it on the front, but I need a good picture of the back. Because if it's there, that gets complicated, right? Like, what do you do? Okay, hang on. Somebody's got a picture here. Open image in a new tab of the Digital Deluxe Edition. Hang on. I'm not seeing it. We can all look at this together. We know that I'm blind sometimes. We got one player, 50 gig minimum, vibration function, trigger support, network features. Online features may be terminated at any time. No, I'm not seeing PS5 Pro enhanced on the jewel case. Yeah, if it's not on the jewel case, I say you remove it from the digital storefront. I don't think it should be there. If they implement PSSR poorly, I mean it. You yank that frickin' label off, toot sweet, and then you give people refunds. Anybody that's got it on their Pro and it says, yeah, I'm having problems with PSSR, looks like, well, here's your money back. I don't. What kind of a POV would we go if we react? I feel like it gets worse. We don't have much of a pivot here. I mean,
we don't know who is this person? Is this person credible? What are we talking about here?
Moore's Law is dead is quoting folks from AMD. That's
who this article is about. It's about Moore's Law is dead.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even read that far. I just started laughing and sent it to you.
Yep. He goes into detail about the insider information he's obtained. One section of the video is dedicated to sharing some insight into their collaborations and how it's progressed. And the tensions are there. Like, it's probably this Xbox Magnus and Microsoft's mistake section. 127 to 147. 20-minute section, it looks like. Can Microsoft save Game Pass? Not interested. What could replace Xbox in the console race? Not interested. Nintendo Switch versus the Portal, the PSX Portable? Not interested. Sony mandate 40 FPS VR or higher. PS6 thoughts in production? No. Pros on the PS5 Pro. Third rails. Dustin's origins of getting into podcasting. Yeah, he's got Dustin from Last Stand Media on. I heard Sweet Tooth. Never heard Toot Sweet. Toot Sweet. I forget where I heard that. I think I heard that in the unit. Get over here, Toot Sweet. Doesn't that mean quickly? Immediately. Toot Sweet means immediately. Hop down here, Toot Sweet, and let me have a look at it. Yeah, it means do it right now. We got a renewal over here on Twitch. Thank you so much, Blind Darkness, for 5 months of memberships, man. Appreciate it.
Yay.
I think that's where I heard Toot Sweet. I think it was in the unit. The one guy said, we'll be over there, Toot Sweet. That's a lifetime ago. I don't know where that came from rattling around in my brain, but...
Well.
Toot Sweet was originally from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's the name of the candy. That's right. It is in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Bang Bang. Because I remember hearing it, and I'm like, wait, what? Toot Sweet? Bro hit us with the Roaring 20s slang. Oh my gosh.
World War I soldier talk there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me get one of these fucking videos ready. What do I want to do here? Do I want to go with this video that nobody's going to care about? Or do I want to go with this video that nobody's going to care about?
I don't think anything can be as bad as Saros video, because like people are interested in Expedition 33. Wolverine, it's tough because like we just don't know. Was the platform acting bad? Like you said, you looked up a lot of Wolverine videos that weren't doing well by other people as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if the funnel's effed because of all the movies.
It's got to be tough. Like, you certainly have to use Wolverine PS5. You can't just use Wolverine or Wolverine game. You have to use Wolverine PS5.
Yeah, like, so Caboose did a reaction to it, and had good results, like 78,000. He just did a 9 villains he'd like to see, and it didn't do great for him. It did 20,000. That's on the lower end of like video performance for him. He's a big creator, right? So it's like even somebody with that kind of volume isn't getting great results from talking about Wolvie.
Yeah.
But some of this isn't about views. It's about communicating to YouTube, topic range.
It's just too soon to go back to Expedition 33. Like, we were just there.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. Because you could run Wolvie today and grab something from... You could grab anything from today and use that for the rest of the week. You could bump Wolvie to next week.
Yeah. Not really. Well, I don't even have that stuff downloaded.
No, not today.
Yeah, we're running Wolvie or Expedition 33 today.
That's what I said.
Those are our options. You said bump Wolvie to next week.
No. I'm sorry. I've said that wrong. Run Wolvie today. You bump Expedition to next week, right, and then the stuff that I gave you, you could run.
Go write your descriptions because I didn't even watch this. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Wolvie. Is it Marvel's Wolverine? It is. It's Marvel's Wolverine. I don't know if that helps in the funnel, though.
I'm telling you, for it to work, it has to be Wolverine. I'm going Wolverine PS5.
You can also do Wolverine game. I think that helps.
I'm just going Wolverine PS5 nails the vibe. That's what I'm going with on the title. I don't care what you do in the description. Yeah, it's like it's formatted like Spider-Man, right, Eugene?
Yeah, if you go to Google as well, Marvel's Wolverine is an upcoming. I'll do that. I'll make sure that's in there. That always kind of helps ground us a little bit and get us away from the dadgum movies. Yeah, device 135 61850. We can hear you.
Yeah, but
Bye, we can hear you.
What are you saying? I'm busy.
Yeah, you were saying numbers, and I was trying to talk over you. I wasn't sure what numbers you were saying.
Oh no, I'm deploying new hardware.
Okay, I just making sure. I had no idea what you were saying.
No. They're just server serial numbers.
You're like street address is 123 Hot Man Road. I'm like, oh frick, you just doxed yourself.
No. They're just server identifications, just blade numbers. I'm multitasking. We're replacing hardware. That time.
Yeah. Marvel's Wolverine. Yeah. I got that as like the lead sentence. That should help it. Hang
on one second, let me pull that. Okay. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Who the fuck is the ball, James?
What?
I never have this screen open, but I opened it so I could mute myself when I have to respond to these people. Who the fuck is LaBall James?
I have no idea.
I mean, they're not wrong. I just want to know.
Okay. How big is Wolverine versus the likes of Spider-Man? Their debut trailer has almost 8 million views. So I mean, I'd say it was red hot when they dropped the trailer. We had the same experience with Spider-Man though. We had the same experience with Spider-Man. It was like they dropped the trailer, they dropped gameplay, and we're like, yeah, let's talk about it. And everyone was like, we don't freaking care. It was so weird. We had the same experience with Spider-Man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because there's...
Well, yeah, like the day after, nobody gave a shit.
It was very weird.
Yeah, whatever.
It was like, let's do a breakdown. Let's do a reaction to this brand new trailer for this highly anticipated game. And we got terrible results. It happened with Spider-Man and it happened with Wolverine. It's very weird. What's your opinion on Black Myth fixing performance mode? I don't feel like they fixed it at all, Silent Spartan. I tested it in here on my monitor and my TV last night. I still think it's ugly, and I still think the game doesn't feel good.
There were people in the Discord early this morning saying that they couldn't really tell much of a difference as well. So you're not alone.
They left the legacy performance mode in there. You can toggle between the two, and it didn't look any different to me. It still looks ugly, and it still just doesn't feel good. I can't go from First Berserker Kazan and Yote this year to a game that its combat is based on dodges and attacks, and I feel like it just doesn't feel good. I can't do it. I can't do it. You think your nephews will be into Wolverine? They are going to beg and plead to get Wolverine, and their parents are probably going to say no.
Yeah. It's going to be a whole different level of violence than what's in Spider-Man, right?
They're not allowed. Yeah, they're not allowed to play. I mean, they're allowed to play mature games like a shooter if they can turn the violence down, or like if there's like a profanity filter. I think they've gotten a little bit loose on like Call of Duty and Apex because it's just a battle royale, right? There's not really any violence in Warzone, but Wolverine's at another level.
I don't know about that.
I mean, the level of violence in Warzone is kind of arcade-ish, right? Like, you are shooting people, but, like, it's a battle royale.
I know the executions are pretty graphic.
Oh, I forgot about the executions. They might not know about that. I think they let them play Warzone. I think, like, that and Rainbow Six Siege, they make exceptions for those titles, but generally speaking, they don't let them play mature titles. Yeah, this AMD thing is getting traction that Moore's Law ran with. I think we protect ourselves by reacting to him. I don't know what we do with our thumbnail. Do we put his handsome face on there?
Article's about.
The video is a day old, so when we touch it, it'll be 2 days old. It came out yesterday.
What's our three imagery? Sony on the left, AMD in the middle, Xbox on the right.
I mean, we could go trifecta, or we could go single topic and do just one image. I don't know. I don't know if there's much of a focus here on PlayStation. Or, I mean, if you put AMD in the middle and Xbox and PlayStation on the side, we could talk about how...
They're talking... I thought you wanted to react to the point where he's comparing the two.
Yeah, the differences between how they interact, from this video are pretty stark.
You know what this is going to lead to. AMD are just a bunch of fucking ponies. No fucking wonder.
Yeah,
they sabotaged Microsoft because they're a bunch of fucking ponies.
Phil Spencer crying face. That might be the call, though. Just go 3 across. PlayStation, AMD, Xbox. I mean, this is the topic right now. Future hardware forecasts. We got stuck on that today. I mean, that was one of the topics today. PlayStation 6 was one of the topics. But like we got enjoyably stuck on it. I'm not complaining. I thought it was fun as a convo, but like that's where people are kind of fixating.
Yeah, Paul, look at live chat. Paul's still talking about it. We stopped talking about it 3.5 hours ago. Paul's still talking about it.
Huh? Where?
In live chat. He was still talking. Last time I closed live chat because he was still talking about it.
No, they're talking about Wolverine. Metacritic did the thing again where they translated a 3 out of 5 to a 6 out of 10. I freaking hate that. It's so stupid. The 5-point scoring system, and they're like 3 out of 5, which is like middle of the road, not bad, not great.
That's
and then it gets turned into a 60.
It's 60%, right? 3 out of 5 is 60%. Or am I retarded?
No. You are correct. The problem is that's not how they view it. When you're doing a 5-star rating, 3 is not viewed as a failing grade. It isn't. 5 is excellent. 4 is good. 3 is like, this is fine.
I agree with you, Paul. Given their track record, that's absolutely probably why they want AMD doing all the work. Look at what we did. We fucked up. You guys do it.
You're going to end up comparing them, just lean into it. I kind of landed on the conclusion of let's cover what we want to cover and control chat. Instead of being like what I did to that guy the other day. I was like, no, and I didn't even really say anything. He did that thing where he was being bad faith. I called him on it. And he's like, oh, I wasn't talking to you. I just banned him. I was like, I'm not even playing this freaking game with you.
We're still kind of keeping to the core principle, or at least the thought process behind it is not talking about something about Xbox that we don't want to talk about.
Right. It's inevitable. It's just going to be too significant of an ongoing conversation to not talk about it. It's just a matter of how do we talk about it and how do we fence the table? Like, you got to fence the table. Everybody's coming together, coming to the table to have conversations like we're having a meal, right? You got to fence the table. You know, if somebody's going to show up and be and do that thing, I just bounce them. I'm like, get out of here. Why can everybody else cover the important thing when it's hot in the algo? Right.
That's a hosting service. This is an application service.
What's the deal with Cobra Kai? I didn't pay much attention to Cobra Kai today. He can kind of get on a wavelength a little bit. He was on one today, and I just didn't pay much attention to it. Twitch will soon launch co-streaming feature that piggybacks on combined viewership. Main broadcasters can indicate if they allow their stream to be co-streamed. From there, others can co-stream their content, with viewership contributing to the main broadcaster's total. It will help the main broadcaster gain more viewers for their content and provide individual broadcasters with content to react to. Or we could just not use the freaking feature because it's fair use. And why am I going to funnel viewership to Summer Game Fest when I'm co-streaming their event?
Wait, run that whole piece of nonsense by me again? That didn't make any sense.
Twitch is launching a co-streaming thing. So like if someone says, hey, you can co-stream our tournament, right?
Yeah.
And when you do it, you help add to their viewership.
Why would you want to do that?
I have no freaking clue, unless you benefit by being like listed as a co-streamer beneath, and people might want to go check out co-streams to be like, oh, what are people saying? But like, you're going to be in a sea of people co-streaming.
That just doesn't sound viable. Plus, you're donating metric. That's dumb.
You're wiser than I am. I just need to ignore him. I've just gotten to that point, Zubair, where as soon as I can tell somebody's on a wavelength that I don't want to be on, I just don't read what they're saying. Somebody made a video about you. Oh, okay. I don't care. Like I'm never gonna go watch it or care. Why? I don't want to be on that frequency. It's just negative.
I don't want that shit in my algorithm.
Yeah, I just don't care. I've seen a couple people try to do videos on me recently, and they don't get the viewership they used to get. It's already running out of steam. It already is. You used to be able to do a video on me, throw me in the thumbnail, and you'd immediately get nice clicks. Now it's like it'll be one of their lower performing videos. It's like that train's running out of gas, man. And all you do is.
You said everything there is to say. What are you gonna? Are they gonna graduate you to like super pony? Like, I don't know where you go from where they are.
Cobra is literally an Alex troll. I thought he was the guy you verbally abused at the end of the stream last week. No, I ripped up a guy yesterday because I recognized his name, and he was like, I gave you a second shot, and all it is doom and gloom for Xbox, and you're happy about it. I was like, you know what?
That was Reese.
Yeah, that was Reese. I took him to the dadgum cleaners. I was like, I'm not tolerating this BS from you today. You've got a long-standing name in this community, and before I bounce you so you never get another membership here ever, I want to let you know what I think about you. Is that why I'm ignored? I'm on the wrong wavelength? I don't ignore you, Broken Surprise. Excuse me. It's also that he talks like a jerk. Yeah, it could be that. It could be demeanor. I have an easier time eating around somebody being brash. I can deal with brash. Some of you guys can get brash. Who the frick cares? Right? If you're going to be brash, you're going to be rude, whatever. I don't care. Bad faith is what sets me off. It just absolutely sets me off. Like, I'm not doing this with you.
Being brash was a problem. There's a whole bunch of us that just need to check out.
I mean, I wouldn't be 4 years deep working with Creature if I couldn't deal with brash.
Yeah, me, Zuby, Eugene. There's a whole bunch of us need to check out.
I'd be like, you can get the f out. I'm telling you. This goes all the way back to when I worked at AT&T. These guys would come in, and they were absolute just curse machines. They were curse machines, right? And they would curse, and they would swear. Every other word was the N-word. Now, when there were people in the store, I told them they had to chill. But if nobody else was in the store, I didn't care. I was like, you're not upsetting me by swearing or dropping the N-word. I don't freaking care. And they didn't bother me at all. And I remember a guy asking me, he's like, why doesn't that bother you? I was like, because they're not being rude. It's just how they talk. And I feel like sometimes it's like, if you're just going to talk that way, like, I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not going to take it personally. Like, I don't think you're necessarily being rude. Maybe they are being rude. I am way more set off by bad faith. Like when the guy said, what's the point of just telling people Xbox sucks? They were black? I would hope so, yes. If they were just, dropping lots of the N-word, if they were black.
Yeah, we need to rethink that AT&T bill.
Yeah.
Gotta show they're running.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's fine, boys. I'm okay with that unless my boss is here. No, yes, they were black.
I get it because I grew up around it. But I give my black friends, I give them a lot of fucking pushback and a lot of grief about the ones who do use it often. I give them a lot of fucking gruff about it.
Oh, Rope's getting into the Discords and writing names down. I mean, yeah, anybody, if you see people in our circles and they're getting gifteds and stuff and they're from those circles, yeah, I want them out. I don't want them here. I don't want any of those people here. They're not welcome. Because all they're going to do is come in and try and stir stuff up.
Just send that list my way.
Been deep lurking. What's good, Deuterino? On how to install Lorium for Skyrim. I'm an idiot, which is why I've been silent. Also came off a 4-day water fast, so I'm trying to be a better, healthier person. Good golly, 4-day water fast.
We had noticed that you were in deep lurk mode. Like, the vibe's been really pleasant.
Creature has a little flavor to him. I'll allow. In any case, I'm just quicker now to just knock somebody like that completely out, and I won't even say that I'm doing it sometimes. I did it to somebody today. He's like, oh, what's Lono going to be mad about with Xbox today? I didn't even acknowledge him. I was just like, boop, you're gone. Like, why would I let you stay here? Like, who are you? Who are you? Like, get out of here. Yeah, I didn't even read it. Didn't even acknowledge their existence. Just, boop, you're gone. That's the approach.
What's
now.
been your biggest drawback from the water fast? I want to know. Like, what bothered you about it the most? Because it's a tough thing. That's not an easy thing.
Skipping lunch is like, I can do that on a day where I'm in the chair. If I'm doing stuff with the fam and I'm up and moving around, there's too much energy output. It's like, no, I need to eat something. But like just sitting here, I can skip lunch. I get comfortable feeling hungry. A 4-day water fast, no coffee.
Well, as long as your salt, like you're using your salts with the water, it's not bad. It's not as bad as you would think.
Zubair says probably the not eating.
People, there are other things to it though. Like just being hungry is not where it stops. Zubair.
Was he joking because you was saying that you haven't talked Xbox in a while? Well, we took a 2-month break, and then we came back last week, and then I came back again this week, and I'm like, I've got to talk about this. My audience has said, we want you to address this stuff, man. You covered all this stuff with ABK. You can't not talk about this stuff. So, why do we get satisfaction from Lono verbally abusing dumb chatters? Because I think they're annoying, and you like to see it finally get smacked down. They come into the house and they disrupt the party, and you're like, man, get this guy the fuck out of here. And then
I don't know that satisfaction is the word I would use to describe with what I get from it. And I don't think that's appropriate.
I'm going to find the Discord where they coordinate, and then I want to tell you what they're going to come in and say before they say it, so you can make them look dumb instantly. Also, you can tell that they've never been talked down to before with how dumb they are.
Well, they have been. They just didn't realize it.
I think it's different, though. Sometimes I honestly think they have whatever the syndrome is, where you are so convinced you're right that when people like rail against you, you assume because what you're saying is true. You're like, God, I don't understand why that guy won't. He just bans people who disagree with him. They don't understand that, like, they come in the chat, call me a name or call my integrity into question, and they don't understand why they get banned for that.
The possibility of them being in the wrong is just not conceivable to them. Because I can tell you why that is. Because you've been dehumanized to them. You've been set up to look like you're beneath them. So how could they possibly be in the wrong for treating you some kind of way?
If his mental health takes any hits, he can just go write some songs. I just think I'm in a better headspace with it, where like I see it coming, and I just stop it. I'm like, I just put a stop to it. I'm like, nope. And then look what happens. Instead of me going round and round with that dummy on Twitch who was baiting and bad faithing, I just got rid of him. In times past, I'd have gone with him for 45 minutes and he'd have been so happy about that. And I was like, no, and I just got rid of him.
Yeah, that's the thing to remember. Even when you get the better of them and make them look like complete and total asses, it's still meeting their goals, not yours.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, got his attention, got him wound up, and they'll interpret it as he's coping, he's seething, and it's like,
yeah,
wow, really? It's like they go into a bar. You ever see that? It's like the Kevin Hart skit. You good? Dad, I don't think you're supposed to say that. It's like they walk in, mouth off, get cracked on the jaw, and then they're outside on the curb being like, ha, I got that guy really mad. It's like, You're the one that got what? Like,
yeah,
that's the mentality.
Yeah, his knuckles are really gonna hurt tomorrow.
Yeah. He's gonna remember me. Let them plead their case in front of Lucille. No, I think the vibe has been perfectly fine. I don't feel like any of the Xbox streams have been bad because that's just how we've treated it. I'm like, nah, you don't get any quarter here. Just get out. Just leave. We don't want to talk to you. You're unwanted. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, if you don't bring anything to the table, why should you be at dinner? Right?
Well, and we know they're not gonna get into what we think is the natural flow of this community, right? They're not gonna get into the Discord. They're not gonna get into like, community game nights. Like, they're not gonna do any of that. They're literally just showing up to try to throw rocks or put spokes into the tire of the bike. That's all they're here to do.
You can't come to the cookout. You can't come. We can't even trust you to bring the right cups.
Well, we need to be very careful speaking about invitations to the cookout. That's not our jurisdiction, so we need to be...
I host cookouts. That's your problem. You need invites. I host them.
Yeah, let's be clear. I don't have that power. When I go to the annual meetings, for us, we talk about very different things. Is that Atsu Claus? Yeah. This comes. My daughter found this. This was in the bottom of the box of the collector's edition. I didn't even know that I had this. She was like, "What's this?" And she opened it up, and I'm like, "Huh?" I was like, "I didn't know that I had that." Madam's invited. Lono's questionable. Don't even start that. I have six open-ended invitations. Just stop it. Do you even know who you're talking about?
What are you holding up on stream there? A little behind, but what do you got there?
That's the Yote 6. That was in my collector's edition. I didn't even know it was in there.
Edition? That's dope.
It was literally in the bottom of the box. She opened up. She was just looking through the boxes. She's like, "Oh, these boxes are cool." I'm like, "Yeah, they're empty." And she peeled up the thing, and she's like, "What's this?" And she pulls out this thing, and
it's a shame we don't have some type of something in the background that we could hang that from or display that prominently on.
What we do, but I've not been using the camera, and I was worried that was part of our problem, so I removed that from the equation. That the new camera is when we started having the weird black screen stuff. Oh, Nick got in an Asmon video? Well, that's because Nick laid into Asmongold. You can't do that and not expect that. He's gonna farm you for content. That's what Zach does. You listen. Nick can handle it. He's fine. But you take a swing at Zach. Zach will farm you for content. That's what he does.
Yeah, he's not worried about getting in a rut.
Like Nick said, I would rather console war to the day I pass than taking a single afternoon to talk about how this. Yeah, I'm not getting into that conversation either. And Nick called him a piece of Nick's big boy. He swung the bat. Listen. If you're going to say this to Asmongold, he's going to put you in his content. That's just what Zach does. You're not going to rattle him. You're not going to upset him. He's just going to be like, cool, I'm going to put you in a video tomorrow. Like, that's just this is what Zach does.
Yeah, he's just going to make a video about how you think he's a piece of shit.
Like, listen. You want to talk about I'm rubber, you're glue. Like, that's his existence. If you literally attack him, he's just going to bounce it back. And he's going to make tons of money doing so. Like, that's why, like... I feel like historically he's been misrepresented in a lot of things that Zach has said, but I also think his content plan is at like a genius level. Like, you can't do it. What are you going to do to him? Oh, you yelled at him and called him a name. Oh no. What? Oh no. What will he do now?
Yeah, there's nothing.
He's just going to put you in a video.
Yeah. He's at such a behemoth size. There's just nothing.
I've taken the approach with Asmongold I've always taken is I don't agree with all of his takes. I agree with some of his takes. I don't really ever think I'm going to react to his content because it just what it would likely invite would be people that would do what they do. They would misrepresent things I've said about him, and you know, he's usually got the diligence to like not watch a clip on Twitter. He'll actually watch the source material. So like if he was going to react to like my my reaction to like SkillUp's Yote, because that's upset people that I disagreed with SkillUp's Yote take, because they were all happy that like a prominent reviewer didn't like Yote. That, you know, the people that were very anti-Yote were all really thrilled about that. So people are upset that I did that. Zach would at least do the diligence of actually watching my video, not like a clip of it, right? We probably wouldn't see eye to eye, and that's fine. I'm not bothered by that. But he would at least watch my video in its entirety. Say what you want about him. At least he does that. In React Meta, Zach does it the best. He watches the whole video. He lets their sponsorship segments play. He links to the video. He lets the entire video play. He's not like ripping things out of context, you know, and making it seem like somebody said something that they didn't say. You don't have to agree with him, but I think the way that he handles React content is better than pretty much anybody. I feel like the guy lost my mom to pancreatic cancer 6 years ago. He's unhinged. I don't think I've seen any evidence of unhinged. I've not watched a lot of his content recently, but I've not seen any evidence of him being unhinged.
I think some of you take him way too seriously.
Tectone needs to stop it.
It would be like taking Tectone seriously.
He needs to stop it. He's got Ludwig. He's got a picture of Ludwig with a shot collar on. He needs to stop it, bro. He is a menace. He is a menace. Oh my gosh. Oh golly. Jiminy frickin' Christmas. Isn't getting people to take you too seriously the business plan?
No, not for them. For them, the business plan is getting people to click. They deal in volume. They don't deal in substance or quality. They deal in volume. Well, and that's not a personal shot at what they do. That's just a reality. That's the strategy.
Yeah, I think they're to a point where they don't feel like they have to hold back, and they'll just say what they think. And I think when that happens, you're just going to naturally find yourself disagreeing with them more. I think a lot of content creators are very glib and very hedged and very safe, and it's very unusual to have someone that's just like, no, this is why F that, F those people, F that, like they'll just tell you what they think. You don't get that from a lot of people because they don't want to lose sponsorships or they don't want to lose friendships. And guys get to a certain size where it's just like, you know, that's one thing that you'll notice with Asmongold is like he doesn't need anybody or any company. He just doesn't. And that's just going to embolden that freedom of like, this is what I think. And then that's going to increase the likelihood that you disagree with them. They use their platforms irresponsibly, and followers that take it too seriously. Yeah, I mean, I don't get into that because, like, I think, like, a lot of the times, you know, if someone's going to grab a clip or grab a viewpoint and go be an idiot because of that viewpoint, I don't get lost in the weeds of being like, that's that creator's fault. You know? They shouldn't speak about serious subjects without being educated. The people who want bias confirmed will take it and run with it. It's a sad state of affairs. Yeah, but okay, let's imagine he retired tomorrow. It wouldn't change any of these in any of these platforms or any of that problem. Like that wouldn't change. Like if that's your genuine view of some of these really big creators, if the lot of them just retired tomorrow, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go live on farms and raise horses. We're sick of this content thing, and you never saw them ever again. I don't think it would change the landscape. I think you're looking at a person and acting like they're the causality, and I think they're just part of the machine. I don't necessarily think. I think a lot of the behavior on Twitter, YouTube, all these places where, like, you know, mobs of people do things that are bad or whatever. I don't think they're necessarily the causality. I think people are just kind of looking for that.
That's really awkward.
You should stop moving now. There's a lot of that situation gotten pretty bad for him. Gotten pretty bad. There's a clip that emerged where he moved the thing out of the frame that he was using. It's like, well, there it is. There it is. You've been live in front of an audience for this many years and this many hours. Gonna be real hard to not have that kind of thing get discovered.
I wasn't paying attention. What's the thing?
It seems to me pretty clear that the thing that, like, Hassan uses to engage the shot caller was, like, in frame, and he, like, slid it out of the frame, and they're finding all kind of clips now. It's like, yeah.
Well, you know, here's a real shock. Guy's a piece of shit.
Causality has nothing to do with personal responsibility, but I can't follow others for finding him others like him entertaining. We're not going to grow in everything. That's fine. Yeah, in a even Ricky's in on it. Yeah, everybody's in. Everybody's getting him. At a very general level, I feel like almost every content creator is very easily misrepresented, and a lot of what they've done or said is very easily exaggerated. And I feel like that's happened very commonly with Zach. It happens with me all of the time. The things that people believe about me are so crazy high, right?
Yeah.
And in the last couple of weeks, I've just noticed that is a common problem in this environment.
60% of the stuff that I don't know. I'm certainly not defending Zach or a fan of his, so to speak, but 60% of what I see about him on the internet is not true. Like, I see clips of him supporting god-awful shit that I know he doesn't support. Like, they, you know, little due diligence and a little self-awareness goes a long way, I guess that's what I'm saying. People had spent literal years of their lives trying to make him look like he's something he's not. And I'm not saying he's something great or something that you should like or something you agree with. I'm just saying, mindful of what you believe.
Yeah, I just see the same tactics employed, which is what always makes me suspicious, right? it always makes me suspicious. It's like, I've watched entire videos by this guy. I'm like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. And then I'll see it, and it's like a 6-second clip. And I'm like, oh, for Pete's sakes. Right? Like, I've literally seen videos where, like, somebody will say, yeah, but you think this. And then his editor will come in, that old man voice comes in. He's like, here's some context. And, like, they'll add all the context. And it's like, oh, that happens so often with him. I watch it for 3 years now, and I make my judgments based off that. I have a direct issue with things he has said. I don't consume hate content of any kind. Yeah, I mean, again, if you watched him and you feel like he said stuff that you're like, I can't support. Here's the other difference that I think is really important. I consume content as a creator. So I don't view it in the same way. I don't view it as like, oh, I'm supporting this person, or like I'm endorsing this person. I consume this wide breadth so that I have a very, very broad exposure to a lot of different viewpoints. So I'll watch Asmongold, I'll watch Skill Up, I'll watch Jack Saint, I'll watch Birdman, I'll watch Critical Drinker. I try to take it all in. So I watch from a very different, I think, maybe a different viewpoint. Like, I'm watching as a creator and not necessarily, maybe I don't view myself as a consumer of the content.
I understand that I am consuming on some level. Like, I'm a counted metric. But when I watch people, especially like Zach, if you do what I do and you don't have a firm understanding of what Zach does, you're doing you and everyone that you work with a disservice. Because what Zach does works. Look at the metrics. What he does works.
He acts like a right-wing grifter, and he tries to say he's middle of the road.
That's
but I don't know. I've heard a lot of his positions that don't align with. I feel like that don't align with like right wing. Like, I feel like he has views that don't align with that.
Yeah, because check this out. This is the climate that we're in, right? My positions from when I was 26, 27 years old haven't changed that much. But my position on the grid certainly has. Like, the people around me when I was 27, 28 years old looked at me and considered me extremely left. And I've watched the whole world shift. And to the untrained eye, I probably land firmly on the right, but I don't think any differently than I did then.
Back 2 years ago, he absolutely wasn't right-leaning. I mean, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the positions, but I've watched him plenty of times speak on things, and I'm like, yeah, that's not what a right wing or a conservative
position,
would believe.
More times than not, the people's position on the grid hasn't changed. The grid has shifted. And if you're honest with yourself and you look at the things that are going on around you, you have to see it. Like, what we used to what used to be the left is, like, there are people that were firmly on the left that are considered on the right now. They didn't change. The grid changed. Somebody moved the map under our feet.
He said he volunteered for Bernie, supports UBI for People. His audience is 100% MAGA. Well, I mean, I would not doubt that a lot of his audience is aligned with that trill. I also think a lot of his audience aligns with, like, you know, the anti-woke war, right, for sure. But here's the mistake I think people make. And this is something that I've always kind of found interesting in this discussion. I don't think it's a grift, and I don't think it's opportunistic. I just think he genuinely just sits down, says what he thinks, and then there are folks that have aligned with him that feel like, yeah, I think the same thing. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a grift. Like, I feel like there are plenty of people who sit down and they're like, I'm going to say this because I know this crowd is angry and they'll click on my video. I think he literally just grabs whatever's happening and talks about it. Like, he's such a giant monolithic creator at this point. He's like, oh, that's what's happening? Let me watch the video. Oh, something happened in some city. Some game dev said this. Oh, Hassan shocked his dog. He's just going to talk about it. Like, I think that's it. I think he just sits down and talks. And he's become so monolithic in the space that he doesn't have to, like, guard what he says. He just says what he thinks. My issue is, I think it says something when you've quite literally the biggest online influencer in the world and you give your political takes and what you believe is true, but refuse to have those views or opinions challenged with anyone in that field. But I mean, the idea would be, why does he owe his platform to anybody? People say that about me. They're like, well, you don't let people get on the mic to debate you. And it's like, I don't owe my platform to you. You're coming to me to hear what I think, and I say it. And if you disagree or don't like it, there's comments, a Discord, and a chat to use. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. Why would he owe you that? Why would he owe anybody that space?
Think about the monetary value of his space.
From a content creator perspective, I get it, but it says something about character. I'm not going to presume on his character because I think he looks at it as, this is just what I do. I sit down and talk about what's happening in the world. Imagine you were in the scenario where you could sit down, turn a camera, a mic, some lights on, sip on your Chick-fil-A and just comment on stuff all day long and just never worry about a cent or money or just like that. I don't know. I feel like he could be 1,000 times worse than he is. Like, he could absolutely go toxic and be nasty and go and be 1,000 times worse. Like, I feel like with his platform reach, I would say I feel like it's pretty reasonable the way he handles his platform.
I don't think it's intentional at all, other than what's hot in the algorithm. Like, if I go look at his last 20 fucking streams, I guarantee you, they're all algorithmic pops.
Yeah, it's just this video popped off, this video got recommended, let's see what it says, or this clip trended on Twitter or whatever. I've always said, he just scrapes off the top of whatever's happening. I bet you,
if I take his line chart and Google Trends line chart, I bet they match perfect.
You just explain why no one should listen to him? But you're creating impetus in an entertainment environment, and that doesn't work. You're trying to create like intellectual impetus. There is no intellectual impetus if people is like, this is funny, I like this, or I agree with him. That's all it takes. They're like, yeah, I align with this guy. He's funny. Oh, I love the way he tore that game down or that dum-dum on Twitter down. Like, that's all it takes. It's an entertainment environment. Nobody's thinking in that realm.
Right.
Nobody's thinking in the realm of that.
Applying that logic to what he does is the fallacy. He's entertainment, like, not in an insulting way. He's the jester, he's the clown, he's the entertainment. He's not some source for you to get information from or to be, spiritually or emotionally or politically or scientifically informed. He's an entertainer.
I strongly disagree. I think you guys are giving him a lot of slack that I don't think he deserves.
I don't. I think he's a fucking content creator, and I think his opinion doesn't mean shit. And the idea that you let it mean shit says more about you than it does him.
I'm not in a position to like judge someone's content if I've not exhaustively consumed it. The content that I've exhaustively consumed from him, like I've never seen a major issue with it. I've never been like, oh, I can't believe he did that. I take way more issue with people who will put folks in their content with the intention of hate and malign and calling integrity into question and harming them. Like, I take way more issue with people that do that. Now, you want to take issue with them going after people in the wake of the Charlie Kirk thing. Listen.
I'm not calling him a clown in a derogatory way. I'm saying he is an entertainer. He is not a political commentator. He is an entertainer. Charlie Kirk was a political commentator.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like people go to him for
Brett
entertainment,
Cooper.
and I don't think that it's like this thing of like, well, he needs to be held accountable. He's just putting on a show.
What's the kid's name? Ben. What's that kid's name? They always accuse Brett Cooper of being his cousin.
Oh, Shapiro.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro is a political commentator. Candace Owens is a political commentator. Asmongold's a fucking streamer. Stop it.
It's mainly the problem of young men falling to bad influences, but it's fair to tell a jester, hey, some folks think you're being serious. Well, I don't think he's being disingenuous. I don't think he's being, like, not serious. I think he says what he truly believes, but I think he's also he's just entertaining people. He's just hanging out and talking. He's not...
He's just some dude hanging out.
Yeah, he's not doing investigative journalism. He's not doing the news. He's not a journalist. He's literally a guy that sits down and says, yeah, let's look at this video. Let me tell you what I think. Like, that's literally it. I'm not
underestimating it, Eugene. What I'm saying is, why is that a problem? That the source of that problem isn't him.
Yeah, like
if
people, if people are going to him,
he's not the problem.
Yeah, if people are going to him for and taking this stuff seriously or acting like this is where I'm going to get my news. There's no impetus on him to be like, hey, by the way, before I react to this, I want you guys to know I'm not a news source. Like, they're all just hanging out.
Yeah.
They're all just hanging out talking. Like, I don't know. If you want to disagree with what he said, if you want to break down his argumentation on a topic, or if you want to break down statements that he said, by all means, go for it. Like, to me, I've never seen legitimacy to the claims that he has caused this irreparable harm and said these horrible things. He had the one thing that he then walked back and even retracted because he was educated. He talked to people. He was educated. The one thing he was talking about, like all the people in the one country or whatever, and he said the stuff. That all he walked back and apologized for. Ever since then, I'm like, I've not seen any legitimacy to these claims. Like, I see clips that are like 5 seconds long. And it's like, people do the same thing to me. I don't think there's a lot of merit to it.
I'm not saying he's oblivious to it either, Broken Lobo, but what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to stop every 10 seconds and give a disclaimer? What do you want from him? I don't understand.
He does do the news over the last few years. He's shifted into politics. Yes, but he's reacting to the news into politics. That's categorically different than him sitting down and being like, welcome to Asmongold's news desk.
Yeah, reporting it. It would be, we deal with the same thing here, right? On a much smaller scale and in a different capacity. How entertaining of a show would it be if every 10 seconds Lono stopped to say, well, now understand, this is just my opinion about Xbox. This is just what I think about Microsoft. This is just what I think about Sony. This is just what I think about Black Myth Wukong. I'm not saying that this is fact or something that you should believe or something that you should base your purchase history around. You shouldn't plan your day around what I'm going to say. He'd never get anything said.
Also, I think people try to paint him as like all of a sudden he's leaning into politics. He literally talks about everything. He's got Trump on thumbnails, Battlefield on thumbnails, Marvel Rivals, The Witcher, Joe Rogan, Hassan. I'm telling you, there's no agenda here. There's no I'm a reporter. He's literally, what's going on? Let's talk about it.
There's absolutely an agenda. What's going to make these arrows turn green?
Well, for sure. What I'm saying is I don't view this as like, oh, he's political now. He's literally talking about anything and everything. No. Emma Watson, EA.
Let me tell you how. Look at this thing that Lono is showing on the screen right now. Let me tell you how Asmongold decides if one of these things is going to make it to where it's sitting on this screen. Is that going to make the first 3 blocks on my Twitch dashboard turn green? If it's not going to make all 3 of them turn green, then fuck it, I'm not talking about it.
And then the thing is I've never even agreed with that. I don't think he cares. I think he literally streams on an unmonetized channel. I don't think he cares.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think he's literally just like, well, let's boot up and talk about it. I think he's in it for the love of the game. He just likes to stream and talk about these things. He loves it. He loves to mess with people. Like, he this thing with his son. He loves it. He loves it. He'll laugh. He gets to laugh when these people are mad at him and talk about it. He loves it. He doesn't freaking care. He doesn't care about the money. Doesn't care about the metrics.
He shifted away from gaming considerably. I'll give you that. But that's a natural progression of this of what these guys do. It's going to happen to Lono too. Like, go ahead and get preemptively angry about it. At some point in time, Lono's going to reach a volume where talking about games doesn't make sense. He's going to have to talk about something else.
Yeah, he pulled up the metrics on one of his YouTube channels. It was just clips, and it was sickening. It was like, that would make another person independently wealthy. He just had like a random channel. It was like, oh yeah, look how much money I'm making here. It's like, frick you, man. Yeah, and I'm not going to psychoanalyze how he's experiencing grief and the passing of his dad. That's not my place. That was probably ridiculously difficult. We'll all probably at some point in our life have to go through something like that, and hopefully we all handle it as best we can. I noticed maybe a little bit of more anger in him on Twitter in the wake of it, which I think made a little bit of sense given everything. And the channel, I've not watched his content. I haven't. He hasn't been hitting my homepage because he's talking about Battlefield, Trump, Rogan, and Hassan, and I don't care about those topics. So he's not hitting my homepage right now.
It's not that I don't agree with you. That's not what's happening here. You and I are not having a disagreement. You and I are just looking at things through different lenses. You're seeing him as something that he's not, in my opinion. That's all. Like, he thinks drastically different than I do about 9 out of 10 topics that could ever come up in a given day. I don't feel the need to hate him for that. I don't feel the need to shy away from him because of that. I don't care. We're different. Oh no, what am I going to do? Someone is different than me.
So because he's doing it for the Green Arrows, it's excusing the controversial things that he says. I think he should be fairly judged if what he said is bad, to be fair. Okay, well, here's the problem.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, that's not what Creature was saying. Also, I think the problem is you're thinking that it needs to be excused, and that's the mistake that you're making. He doesn't feel the need to be defended, justified, or excused. He's literally just sitting down and talking. That's all it is. Like, I think sometimes the problem is when you operate at a level of like good faith debate, back and forth disagreements, like you hang out in these circles and we have like a standard of discourse. You're trying to apply a rigor that he's going to be like, what are you talking about? I'm just sitting here talking. I don't answer to you. What do you mean?
You're trying. Yeah. You're trying. I think this is the best way to say what Lono was trying to say. You're trying to apply a set of parameters to him that he's not attempting to operate within. Like, right. He's in the passenger seat of the car, and you're mad because of the way he drives. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't think it's that passive. I mean, he is still responsible. If he booted up tomorrow and said, I think this people group should be pulled into the streets and killed or something, and it's like, oh my gosh, what? Right. Like, he's responsible for saying those things. So like, if he were to say something, we can't be like, he's in the passenger seat. I'm just saying he doesn't think the way that you're thinking. He's not thinking that he answers to you or anybody.
Yeah, and if you don't like the dude, don't watch him. It's easy solution. You know what I do with things I don't like? I don't engage with them.
He knows what level of influence that he has. You're attaching a metaphysical, moral element to his influence that he probably does not attach to it. he probably does not attach that, like, well, because I'm influencing all these young men, I should speak different, talk different, or have different views. What? He's never going to see it that way.
Yeah,
he would
never.
say, I'm just sitting down and saying what I think.
Because here, a little behind the curtain action. How many times have I come to you behind the scenes and said, your voice has weight? When you voice something, people believe it. So if you say things are going poorly, they're going to believe things are going poorly. If you say things are going well, they're going to believe that things are going well. Right? And what has been your response almost every time? No, but that's not the goal. I don't want that. No creator thinks that or wants that, unless they're in this business for the wrong reasons.
Right, I don't have to watch things I don't like. Unsub. That's right. I don't like 90% of what he says. I just stop watching. Yeah. Well, again, that's what's interesting is, like, I don't agree with a lot of his takes. I don't, but I also don't. I don't think the way he's described and the way that he's sort of cast as this villain, I don't think a lot of that's accurate. I think a lot of that is gone through the machine of escalation, because Twitter, social media, this is all an escalation machine. And I feel like it's gone through that machine, and maybe he's like a 6, maybe a 7 on some of these scales of, like, oh, that was kind of rough, and it becomes a 9 or a 10 because it goes through the escalation.
Well, yeah,
machine.
Once it gets washed through Twitter, it's a 12. He said some shit that's like a 6.5 or a 7, but it gets washed through Twitter 12 times, then shows up through your algorithm, which is full of shit that pisses you off, and it's a 12 now.
What I'm saying is, it's not just talking if what he's saying is negative. No matter if he doesn't care or even if I don't watch, there's negativity that lingers for the sake of him just talking. But your metric of negativity is your own, not his.
Right.
Like, he might not think it's negative. He might be like, no, this is what I think. This is my honest feedback. This game sucks. That game looks stupid. This character looks ugly. Why are they making this character fat? Like, whatever it is that he's saying, you're applying a metric of moral judgment on it that he doesn't share. Imagine if I was doing that right now and telling you guys that you were not aligning with my moral ethic on, I don't know, like...
I can prove to you that he's not perfectly represented, and I can prove it to you in 60 seconds.
No, yeah, he's not perfectly represented. I've seen in the last year, I've seen him misrepresented numerous times.
Go to Twitter, search for clips of Asmongold. Watch one, find the timestamp, and then go watch it in context. It will take you 60 seconds to get that theory broken. There are entire communities of people dedicated to misrepresenting the man. That's not me defending him. That's me telling you the truth. There are entire communities that are thousands of people deep, committed to making him look like he is something he's not.
Yeah, like I could do that I could easily do that with my own view and my own morals on a consistent basis. I could do that, and I don't find it productive, because it would be like getting, if I have, like, let's say I have the moral view, that people shouldn't eat meat, right? This is one we've seen where people get really angry about people eating meat or whatever.
Right.
I think it's unreasonable to come to other people and to be incensed that they're eating meat. It's like, well, that's your own personal conviction and your own personal views, your own personal morals that you've come to, right? And I think in these spaces, a lot of energy gets wasted being like, well, this guy's saying things that I don't agree with, that I think are reckless or bad or whatever, but you're applying your morals and your judgment to it. And it's like, if he's not coming from your moral compass and circle, you are wasting your time. He's not going to once feel like he has to fall in line with your scales of morality or your judgment.
Yeah, and where is the expectation that he should? Where
More
does that
importantly,
come
how did
from?
Yote launch without New Game Plus? Tsushima launched without New Game Plus, and it also launched without Legends. They had it come later. Spider-Man launched without New Game Plus. That's actually more common than you might think. But Lono, you're not a scumbag grifter. You have integrity. Again, I'm trying to tell you, I promise you, from his viewpoint, it's not fake. A grifter doesn't think what they think. They're capitalizing on what's hot. This dude doesn't do that. That's one of the reasons he pisses people off, because he just sits there and says what he genuinely thinks.
It's
not a grift.
Yeah. No filter, no thought process on what the consequences of him saying it are gonna be. Just, well, I think blah 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 blah. Blah!
I think that's what gets him into trouble. Is that it's not
exactly
a grift?
What gets him into trouble?
It's not a grift at all. He's just like, yeah, let's look at this. Oh, well, here we go. He's just gonna start talking. There's no.
Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, like some of you position yourselves like because he says things that you think are awful or that you don't agree with, he shouldn't be allowed to talk. And that's crazy, because that's exactly what you want to protect. The shit that pisses you off and the shit you don't like is really what you're out there to protect.
Well, here's the thing you need to realize, though, and I think this is a giant mistake that people continually make in these discussions. I've had people in chat today say, well, he knows his audience is MAGA, right? And, he's appealing to his audience, and, his political views open him up to criticism. Okay, sure. Something you have to understand is, though, tons of people agree with him. Tons of people agree with him and his viewpoints on these things.
100%, Sven. 100%.
So it's like you have to ask the question, like, you're so convinced you're right, take a quick second and realize they're very convinced that they're right. So that's why you're never going to get anywhere being like, he's bad, reckless, and dangerous, and his comments are bad, immoral, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to get anywhere because, like, the people that support him, like him, and enjoy his content, they're just as convinced they're right as you are.
I think what Eugene's saying, that's a good piece there.
His popularity is an indictment of the world, not him.
Yep.
He's a symptom, not a cause. And that's what I'm saying. Like, tons of people agree with him. You got to come to grips with that. Like, a lot of people with the same conviction and strength that you feel your position, they feel just as strongly. That's why I've always said casting folks like him aside and name calling is pointless. It's far better to engage. If you want to, I'm not doing that, but if you really want to, you would engage. You would break it down logically, break it down in a reasonable, calm way to try to show people, I think this viewpoint he has is bad, dangerous, or destructive. Okay, good. Argue it. Instead of just being like, he's a grifting, bigot. It's like, okay, cool. Nice labels. You achieved nothing. Like, genuinely, I think that's what commonly happens is like, well, you've achieved nothing other than label and dismiss, and they're going to do the same thing to you. Like,
Omar, I wouldn't go so far as to say that I watch him as much as I keep tabs on him. Just because he's such a behemoth on the platforms. Like, I keep tabs on him just so I know what he's doing, how he's doing, why he's doing.
Yeah, I like watching him and Critical Drinker and a lot of the guys that are more on that side of things, because I like hearing a position that I know I'm not going to agree with, because I'm going to hear, well, how are they reasoning themselves to this? What's their argumentation? Like, what do they think? I enjoy that. That's one of the reasons I watch the content.
Yeah, 100% Super. Logic will lose a fight against emotion every time.
If logic and reason prevailed, we wouldn't be having this convo.
Correct.
Well, and again, this is where I think lots of people make the mistake of thinking that, well, they're not being logical and reasonable, and I am. I promise you they think the same thing. I promise you they think the same thing. I promise anybody you disagree with thinks the same thing. They think they're being logical and reasonable, and you are not. That's generally the rub of how we interact in these digital environments. Everything's very binary, everything's very black and white, because that's how these platforms flourish and grow, because that it's good for the money.
And like Omar's saying, I'll be honest with you, I'm quicker to watch what somebody has to say that I know disagrees with me than I am somebody who agrees with me. Why do I want to hear my own shit regurgitated back to me?
Right.
I want to hear what somebody else thinks.
Lobo, I honestly think his statements about like the effability, that like how screwable a character is important, right? I think a lot of the times when he says that, it gets ripped out of a larger conversation where he's establishing that people make decisions based on attraction and attractiveness, and in games, that is a very common thing that large amounts of people are looking for. Well, you get one quote and you get one clip where he's like, well, if the character's not effable, then I don't want to play it. And again, you watch the entire discussion, and I'm like, actually what he's saying is genuinely true, that we do base things based on attractiveness, and historically speaking, characters in games are kind of hot or muscular or attractive. They are ideal versions of the human species because we like to think of that as being us. Strong, gifted, fast, superpowers, hot, big boobs, big arms, whatever. That is naturally a part of the equation. He says that, and that's all you see. I actually think his commentary on it usually is actually not off the mark. It's like, yeah, no, that's true. However, and this is where I would push back, that doesn't mean every character needs to look like they're ready for the runway. You can have a character that looks more grounded in reality, like Ellie doesn't need to look like a supermodel in The Last of Us. It would be stupid, and it wouldn't make any sense. Aloy doesn't need to look that way either, even though I would argue Aloy's actually attractive. Same as Atsu in Yote. It's grounded in reality. It would be awkward and weird if she was running around like a buxom, bouncing, boobed anime character. It would look stupid. I love that everybody's memeing on that one thing that happened on Twitter where like, this is made for activists. It's like, she just looks like a normal person. Like, what do you mean? So like, I would get off the train with him after so far and be like, I agree. Yes, these are all factors of what make people buy a game or like a character. And then I'm going to get off the train and say, now hang on a minute. Art direction is playing a role here. Not every game needs to be the characters are super hot and I want to bang them, because that's not what every context makes. It doesn't make sense in every context. If it's more grounded in reality, it would be awkward if everybody was running around half naked and hot. It just wouldn't make any sense for every story. Not every game can be Stellar Blade. So that's where I would disagree. And I commonly felt like when he said that, people ripped the clip out and made it seem like all Asmongold wants to do is play games where he wants to screw the character. And it's like, that wasn't the crux of what he was saying, like, at all. That wasn't his argument.
Yeah, Broken Lobo, I'm right there with you. If I see you're in trouble, if I can help, I'm going to come help. Like, I see you dangling off the ledge, by a thread. Yeah, I'm going to come help you. Might not be the best time to let me know you're a speedrunner, but I'm at least going to come help.
I don't even think you could say that Aloy's unconventionally attractive, though, because if you look at her model and you look at the side-by-sides of her face, I actually think she is. I don't know. I've seen people look like that in real life, and I'm like, they're attractive. They have symmetrical face. They have good bone structure. They have pretty eyes. They have pretty hair. I mean, if you're into freckles, I don't know. I've never understood that the Aloy bent of the conversation. The side by side of her with her actress, it's like she looks just like her.
Here we go. He definitely feels like a mouthpiece for a certain audience. Do you think he chose that? Do you think that was the plan? Do you think he decided that? Or do you think those people decided that? That's not him. That's not his fault. You're angry at him for something a group of people decided.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Heck. She's conventionally attractive, but not exaggerated. Right. People are into freckles. Oh, the actress for Fable has extremely cute freckles. The Fable girl actress, have you ever looked at that one picture of her? She's got super cute freckles. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I think that's cute. There's something about that to me. And then Evangeline Lilly had freckles in the show in Lost. She got nicknamed Freckles in the show. There's something cute about some freckles, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. Evangeline Lilly's fucking gorgeous.
In any case, I think the reason I've always been like, and I don't feel like I'm pulling my punches because I've never reacted to his content. If I were to react to a Zach video, if I felt like a large, strong, or sharp disagreement, I wouldn't hold back. I think in this conversation and in many conversations I've seen about him, I think he gets the same treatment I get, but in another fight. He gets it in the cultural political fight, and he gets described as something, and he gets clipped, and it's like, and then I'll go and watch the context and watch the overall discussion. I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like this has really been exaggerated.
Never the same. It's just never the same. I see it happen to so many people. I see it happen to Zach. I see it happen to Charlie. I've seen it happen to Timmy, to Doc. I've seen it happen to fucking Ludwig. I see it happen to fucking Pokey, to Ray, to you. It's the internet, people. It's the internet. You're being fed things algorithmically. Break outside of your algorithm. Go look at something you wouldn't normally look at. Form your own opinion. Stop being fed by an algorithm. It's only going to show you things that you either hate or love. It's never going to show you an absolute truth.
Well, and if you've decided you don't like him, don't like his takes, don't like his content, that's fine. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to decide what kind of content you want to engage with, what kind of people, do you want to support. Totally fine and fair. I think a lot of the times the sweeping descriptors that get applied to creators are commonly unfair. I think it's very commonly they're not fair. It's usually a 9 or a 10, and it's that the reality is like a 6 or a 7. Like, that's been my experience in the 10 years that I've been doing this, is that people will say, well, he's a this. And I go and look into it. I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
I'm not suggesting he has no personal responsibility for his image. I'm saying when his image is portrayed to you vastly by people who are not him, at what point can he not be held responsible for that image? Because if you think your image of him is formed solely on him, I have terrible news for you. I'm about to break your entire reality if you think that's true.
All right, see you, Lobo. Sorry for all the topics. By the way, I'm working, got dialed in. No, that's fine. I think this has been a totally fine and fair and healthy debate and discussion. I've just always been quick to pump the brakes on really strong labels used for a content creator, because I've been on this side of the camera for a decade, and I know how easy it is for people to make you look like something that you are not. There are people right now that think things about me as strongly as you think about him. And I mean, They believe it down in their heart that I'm a vile, lying, they think I belong on a registry. They think I belong in jail. They think I'm out here tricking people and misleading people. It's like they believe it so strongly. And it's because they've seen clips or false framed clips or whatever. And that's it.
There are people on this planet that think Lono went on a book series trilogy of movies worthy spree of felonies in a 70-hour period, and they can't believe he got away with it. Which, had he done any of the ones that he was accused of, he probably would have been on all of our news feeds.
Yo, I see it now. GT5 King, thank you so much for an entire year. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Let me add you to the total.
I'm telling you, I'm not saying that you are falling 100% victim to that scenario. I'm saying there is a percentage of your perception that is born from that.
Yeah, and I'm never going to try and change anybody's mind, and that's why I'm not interested in, like, getting into the debates to be like, what did he say and when? What's wrong with it? What are you upset about? Like, I don't want to get down into the minutia of it. I'm always just, like, very quick to be like, I'm very quick to be like, yeah, people think that about Ninja, or people think that about Asmongold, or people think that about whoever, and it's like, it's usually not nearly as extreme as it's talked about. It's so quickly spun up and exaggerated. I just want to see him articulate his position and his views as best as he could with a healthy amount of pushback, but I know that's never going to happen. As soon as they said he blocked the door, I knew it was all BS. Yeah, man. I agree with what you're saying, Lono, but I personally disagree with applying that logic to Asmon. He does himself no favors whatsoever with his own image, and that's because he leans into the MAGA audience. And I think your assessment of what he does is completely incorrect. I think he genuinely believes it. I don't think he's leaning into anything, and I think he talks about whatever's going on.
I think he just farms people. I don't think he cares what group of people it is. I don't think he cares what the issue is. I think he just farms people for things to talk about.
I'm still waiting for my acceptance letter into the cult. It's in the mail.
Yeah. Go check the mail every day.
Y'all tripping? Asmon knows what he's doing. I don't speak to the intentions of a man's heart and soul because that's not my jurisdiction. That's not my jurisdiction.
Well, no, what was the Christian Bale quote? I think it's a great philosophy that we all need to live by. What was that quote again? I'm trying to remember it.
The phone number, if you don't have my phone number one?
Yeah. If I said something that you just have such a problem with, then call me and we'll talk about it and we'll work it out. If you don't know my number, then you don't know me well enough to be bothered by anything I say.
He says that to trigger people on both sides. He does not care as much as some people think he does. Watch this on as a political guy. I take his content with a grain of salt. Asmon's very much like a buddy. F the cult. I'm waiting for the BBQ art. That's right. You gotta wait for that barbecue invite. Before you say I should never consider a YouTuber as a buddy, I got news for you. I consider Lono a buddy. Well, and I mean, I feel like I try to bring a vibe of, yes, we are just hanging out and talking with a certain level of standard in how I'm going to speak about something and how I'm going to formulate an opinion, right? Like my opinions, my positions on things are formulated in a very facts-based, observational way. Like I don't just fly off the cuff on things. Like today when I said this is when I think the PlayStation 6 is landing, you guys know I'm going to follow that up with a bunch of things. Like here's why I think this. Gut instinct on pandemic, their commentary during an earnings call, Cerny's commentary in the recent AMD video. I'm going to walk you logically like how I got there. I think some of the things that frustrates people, and I know this started frustrating me with LD because I really like Legendary Drops videos and then I kind of stopped liking them, is there are presumed negatives that are not argued for, and it drives me nuts. It absolutely drives me nuts. It's like it's just this presumed negative, this presumed they, and argumentatively, it drives me insane. And I would say that Asmongold does that a lot too. There's this presumed, well, we know what they're doing, it's woke or whatever. There's this presumed negative that's never argued for. So I think that's why people bristle. They're like, well, there was no logical argumentation here. It's just presumed. Oh, you know they're doing it. It's blatantly obvious that they're doing it. They're making all these women ugly. Well, what happens in our stream whenever we push on that narrative? What do we get? We get like no examples. We get like 2, and then we get Photoshop pictures of Aloy. And I'm like, it doesn't seem like you've got a reasoned, logical progression to get to this presumed negative. The presumed negative and the presumed, villainous they, it drives me nuts in that kind of content. It's why it's like, and it's not anything unethical, wrong, or immoral.
Doing that install. I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting here running my mouth.
It just drives me crazy as somebody who, like, I like to see how somebody got to their position when their position is just latent with and baked with this presumed negative. It drives me nuts. I'm like, I don't know why you think this. You haven't argued for it. You're just presuming it. So, if you argue presuppositionally, like the presuppositions of a person's argument need to be dissected, I don't even know where the presuppositions are coming from. They're just presumed. They're just there. The presumed negative is something that I would take issue with. So if I ever broke down a video that I disagreed with from one of these gentlemen, that's probably what I would hone in on. I wouldn't hone in on their agenda or their morals or their intention. I'd be like, there's a presumed negative here that you're not establishing. It's like I don't think this has been established enough to build your argument on it.
And see, you think it's genius. I think it's weak. Jester. Like, I think that's a weak move. Put a label on it. Put a name on it. Put a name on it or keep your mouth shut.
Hence why I want to see him articulate his views and how he gets to his positions. But again, that applying that rigor or that requirement or that expectation, it's kind of like going to a stand-up routine and expecting a debate. If you
want that, go ask him. Maybe you'll get it.
Yeah, I think it's a category mismatch is all. I don't think he views it that way. It's just him BSing, talking, entertaining. And so the difficulty there would be, you're like, categorically, I would like this. And he's like, well, I'm never going to give that to you. That's not his MO. That's not his content style.
Let's also be a little realistic here as well. Like, you like what Lono does because Lono can say something and you go, well, hold on, Lono. How did you get there? And he'll tell you. But there's a really big difference between Lono's ability to do that because there are 500, 600 people in Lono's chat. There's 62,000 people in Asmongold's chat. He's not looking for that because it would be impossible to have a conversation with the person who asked the question.
Well, he does it sometimes. He'll grab somebody and let them have the stage.
Rarely. It's just two completely different environments.
I also think it's not sometimes even lack of ability. I think it's just lack of care. Like, they're like, I don't want to do that. And I think that that's totally fine. It's like, if you don't want to do that, if your content style and your vibe is this, I think that's a lot of creators, actually. I think that's why some of you hang out here, because you're like, well, this is one of the few places where we can actually have that back and forth and pick apart a position. A lot of creators have no interest in that. They're going to be a buckshot of assertions, and that's all they care to do. They'll just assert. This is better. This sucks. This is good. This is better. Just assertions. Why? Why do you think that? Can you argue why it's good, why it's bad? They'll say, no. It's better, it's good. They'll presume the superiority of something, and they'll presume the negativity of something rather than argue for it. And I think that that's fine. If people like that and they don't want the argumentation or they don't want the back and forth, I think
it's like there's plenty of people that don't give a shit why you think that. They just want to know what you think. They don't give a fuck why you think it.
Yeah, think about the criticism that I consistently got from Creature when he was like, stop over-explaining. Just like say the thing. Just say what you think and move on. You're over-explaining, right? And I think sometimes that's definitely a problem with an orator like myself, is I'm going to say 1,000 words when 100 will do. So. And yeah, there'll be people that prefer me over others. There'll be people who prefer other content over mine. There are people that think my content's terrible. That you're always going to have that. You're always going to have a spectrum of disagreement and difference of opinion and content proclivities of where you tend to land and hang your hat. That's fine. I always have just I've just always pushed back and bristled a little bit when I see the labels getting thrown around, because I feel like the labels most of the time are unfair. It's not particular to him either. I've defended Ninja over the years. I feel like he commonly gets very misrepresented and attacked, and it's really unfair to Tyler.
Name somebody. It happens. It happens to Tyler. It less so now, I think, but it used to happen to Felix all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Words are like rockets. Sometimes it's best to use 100 where 3 might do. That's a good reference, Zoob. Oh, you got into the Moonlighter 2 playtest? Nice. Nice. I need a quick second. Hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jaggy, I think a lot of people probably fall victim to being in that spot at least once or twice. Maybe he does it a little more than others, you know. I don't watch him closely enough to pick up on, you know, the frequency with which that happens. But I think that's a relatively human thing. Oh, what's the TLDR there, Eugene? Are those ice samples? Are those ice pillars? $1.2 million ice. Yeah, they're gonna pull out a bacteria that's like, oh, fuck your antibiotics. Yeah. I like this guy. Says don't worry, all they found was some ancient fungus. It's now stored in a lab. What could go wrong? Yeah, there's truth to that, Liquid Smoke. I think 15% might be high. I think it might be a little lower than that. But then if you look at licensing and, like, you know, the way we handle licensing, think of the things that you can do in this world without a license and without any. But look at some of the simple shit that you need a license to do. You can father children, but if you're going to catch that fish, I'm going to need you to have this license. What? Yeah, vertically a mile is pretty fucking serious. $5,280 feet. Yeah, just shy of 2 miles.
Scientists have previously revived ancient bacteria and prehistoric viruses that have been trapped in the ice. Experts say it could pose a problem for humanity.
Chris F., it's 15. It's 15 football fields.
I mean, why would you be... Why would you be doing that? You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing that, though? That's my question to the scientists, you know? It's like, what are y'all doing? Like, we're dealing with enough stress right now, you know? They're like, we found some ancient bacteria, and...
They think Antarctica used to be tropic.
It was a nice run. Yeah, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the end. That's how every zombie movie starts.
Recent LiDAR scans show that they think there's a pyramid under the ice, which would really lean into the fact Antarctica used to be tropical. Fun fact, did you know that Antarctica is the largest desert in the world?
Huh? It's classified as a desert?
Is the largest desert in the world. People think it's the Sahara, but it's really Antarctica. No, I'm not kidding.
The largest desert in the world is Antarctica, a polar desert that covers approximately 5.5 million square miles. It's the coldest and driest continent on Earth, qualifying as a desert because it receives very little precipitation, mostly in the form of snow. The largest hot desert is the Sahara, which covers 3.6 million square miles in northern Africa.
Yeah, deserts are based on rainfall, not sand or heat. Common mistake.
Desert as in deserted, like as in, barren, not necessarily hot. A barren wasteland, a deserted wasteland can be cold, I guess.
We have all seen AVP.
Did y'all see this picture I took? Look at this freaking picture I took.
No.
And Yote, look at that, dude.
Didn't see it.
The scope and the scale of how it uses foreground, midground, background here. Like, you got Yote all the way back. Even the wispy clouds add some depth, to this picture here. This is insane. The depth of this picture, the feel that it gives. This is just in the game. I just went up to...
Is that a bird?
Yeah, there's bird. Yeah, there's a bird as well. Yep. Yeah, I was just up doing a shrine, and I looked to the left, and I was like, oh my gosh, the frick, man.
Now, how does the open world in Yote work? Like, if you take off walking toward that mountain, what's going to happen? Are you going to eventually hit a barrier?
No, I can just go there if I want.
And you can climb that mountain?
You got to find a way to get up. There's not, it's a mountain, so there's not like a, path. I mean, I think there are paths, but like, I think you got to find like climbing sections. But I think the mountain's an instance, actually, isn't it?
I do not know. I have not played yet.
I can't remember. Pretty much anything you see, you can go to. The Mount Yote might be an instance where like you get to a point and it kind of fast travels you there, right?
Oh, I see what you're talking about, Fuzzy. I don't think I've seen that one.
I sent you a great screenshot through the PlayStation Network.
Well.
You got your character looking kind of crazy, bro. Like naked with a mask on. Brewing storm in the background. Yeah, Maddie Plays grabbed onto that quote, whether it's Ghost of Yote or going back to Sly. See, but they did an interview recently where they said the studio doesn't want to work on Sly Cooper. Didn't they?
I believe so. If they're going anywhere other than a third Ghost game, I wholeheartedly believe that they're going back to Infamous, because I feel like they have publicly spoken to wanting to do more Infamous, and I think they've publicly spoken to not wanting to do more Sly Cooper.
Yeah, they did. There's an article right here about it. It was earlier this year.
I thought all the AVPs were shitty, so I just didn't watch them. Fuzzy. Maybe I should give them a watch. I tried to watch one. It was like it was happening in like some little rural north, like Pac West town. And I was like, this is shitty. I'm not watching this.
Yeah, it was in the rapid fire interview. He said that maybe about 10% of the staff responded positively to doing a Sly Cooper. And he said it's been 2 decades since. Like,
yeah, I would love to see what they would do with Infamous. With modern tech. I would love to see what they would do with Infamous.
I said, Maddie, don't let them give you hope. Just 1 month ago, here's the article. Sucker Punch doesn't want to make a new Sly Cooper game. Yeah, I don't know why they said that. They're baiting. The company doesn't want to do a Sly Cooper. Like he literally said, the interest isn't there. It's been 2 decades. Sam Altman says that ChatGPT will soon sext with verified adults. All right, that's it.
Okay.
God's gonna flood the earth again. It's it. We're done. We're cooked.
What? I'm already on the login page.
We're freaking cooked. It's over, boys. Folks are going to be sexting with ChatGPT. We are literally going to bring another flood. We're done.
You never played Sly Cooper or Infamous? Listen, right now on your PlayStation, the Infamous games are available. Even if you just play a couple of missions in each, they're worth touching. The Infamous series is so good.
Atlas is turning. It is. It's going to turn. It's going to kill us all. We deserve it. We deserve it. We deserve whatever happens next to the earth. They're going to let you sext with ChatGPT. It'll really twist people's noodle when they realize a lot of the DMs and sexting they're doing with OnlyFans has probably been with AI for the past 6 months.
With AI for years. 6 months. A lot longer than that, I think.
They were hiring people for a while to do it. I think they probably all switched to AI in the last year. It's cheaper. Yeah, baby, that's a hot outfit.
Look at chat. Like it's not just me. Infamous is fucking good, man. Yeah, it's probably a room full of Indian dudes, yeah.
I'm getting very wet. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, check my Discord message. What's this? What do you got? You already know God said he would never destroy the earth using water again. I know. I've read the book many times. He's not going to do it again.
Many.
Yes, many.
We might be exaggerating there a little bit.
What do you mean?
Many.
I grew up, I'm 43, grew up in the church, and I went to school for it. Yeah, many is appropriate.
What are we classifying as many here? 20, 30? What is many?
Oh, I don't know if I could put a number on it. There's also some books you're not going to reread multiple times, like the whole book. But like those books, yeah. Like some books, the replayability isn't there.
Go ahead and tell. No. I like where we're going here. Go ahead and tell us which book bored you.
Oh, a bunch of them. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah, some of them are drains.
You're like, what the heck? There's nothing going on here. God could find a loophole. I mean, if there's somebody that could find a loophole.
Yeah. people saying they've read the Bible. They're like, all right, if you take Psalms and Proverbs away, how many times have you read it? Oh, well.
He snap his fingers and change all of our memory. You know, I wonder sometimes, is that's what's going on with the Mandela effect? God's like, oops. We need to change what happened there. And everyone's like, wait, no, I saw that movie.
I saw that happen.
They're like, frickin' Sinbad prayed real hard. God's like, I got you, fam. I got you. It didn't happen, bro. I'm going to change everybody's consciousness and the history with a snap of my fingers. Now, there's going to be remnant memories that I can't really be, bothered by. I can't patch that out. That's a bug. It's a bug in the system. Yeah. My favorite is 2 Kings 2, 23 to 25. Are you goofing around? What's this? Is this some like... Oh yeah, when they call him a bald head and then he gets the bears to go get him? Yeah. Go up, thou bald head. He turned, and when he saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord, and 2 she-bears came out of the woods, and they tore 42 of the boys. Now listen, the lesson here is you better respect your frickin' elders, and I wouldn't make fun of people with bald heads. You might get attacked by a bear.
I wouldn't make fun of people who had she-bear friends. What are you talking about?
Yeah, this homie was a druid and nobody knew it. He's like, oh yeah, you like my bald head? What do you think of this?
Ugh, I hate your hat. Your hat sucks.
What hat? What are you talking about?
Paul's hat. It looks like a lampshade. That's a terrible hat.
Oh yeah, that's not one of the ones that I like. Are you doing something? My email saying you doing something with those? Your server stuff?
Kesh, have you started the web server?
This is me. This is me right now.
Hello? You doing the web server? Yeah.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah, the web server's down.
Yeah, my iPhone just was pulling an error. Yeah, this is me right now. I'm going to have a hard time taking this armor off because of the perks. The Undying armor is, it's so good. All right, you guys got me all the way to 3 today. You did it. You did it. I bounced out of the live show a little fast. We were hurting all of a sudden. It was like we did great, and then all of a sudden we weren't doing great. It was pretty fast.
We hang out for another couple of minutes. We can throw these people at a video.
You mean hang out for an hour?
How many people are here?
83 on YouTube, 50 on Twitch. So you'll get 4 of them to go to the video.
Yeah, maybe. One weirdo from Twitch will go over there, and about 3 people from YouTube.
No. The guys from Twitch actually have come over and helped on premieres and uploads. They've been good about that. Yeah, I don't know if you want to bump it to 3, do it an hour earlier so we can give it a jump, but
I don't. I wanted to go at 4.
I'm not sitting here for another hour. It's 3 o'clock. I got stuff to do.
Pardon the fuck out of us. You got shit to do. Soccer's over, motherfucker. I'm not trying to hear these excuses.
What do you mean? I got to keep playing Yote. I got the Spider Lily video we want to make, and I've not got a single thing written down for tomorrow. We're going to react to Moore's Law is Dead. I mean, I guess I could go in no notes. Acts 29 through 10 is your favorite?
Aren't you supposed to be doing a genuine reaction? Like, not watch it first?
Oh, is this when Eutychus falls asleep and then Paul heals him? Yeah, he sunk into a deep sleep. Yeah, Paul's preaching was so boring, this kid fell asleep. And Paul's like, well, shoot, I got to fix this. My preaching was so boring. And he brings him back to life. Don't be alarmed, he's alive. Yeah.
Which one is Paul?
Paul was originally named Saul, and he was an apostle after Jesus was gone. He was on the road to Emmaus and was blinded, and Jesus was like, why are you persecuting me? Paul was traveling the countryside and overseeing the persecution and death of Christians. He was originally named Saul, renamed Paul. And then he's probably the one that wrote most of the letters. Like, most of the epistles are written by him.
Did you ever finish Did you finish the show?
The new season started, and we've been deep in the throes of Borderlands. Like, we've not been watching shows right now. So, I attended Missouri Synod Lutheran School here in the Bay until 8th grade. It was beaten in our skull so much I ended up resenting religion as a whole. That'll do that. Inherited faith is dangerous. Inherited faith can be, it can become a poison that makes you very, rotted to it, like sour to it. Excuse me. I saw it on a bumper sticker, Psalm 109:8. Oh, what is this? May his days be few. May another take his... Oh, stop it. Black Rabbit on Netflix is pretty good. Finished it yesterday. That's the one with... what's his frickin' name? Is it Kevin Bacon? He was originally named Saul, and he was a good man. I don't know about a good man. Homie was holding the coats of the people stoning Stephen. I don't know if I'd say he's a good man. He was considered very, like, you would call him a very good, like a good Hebrew, good Jew, because of how he was born and everything, but a lot of swollen knuckle boomers grew up in Catholic schools. Oh, for sure. Tomorrow, Jaffe and Gene Park are testing a pilot of a new stream podcast. It's called Gaming Exposed. It's a show where we surprise, talk games, dive into the game biz, take your calls, shoot this with chat. That'll be funny.
David Jaffe and Gene Park.
Jason Bateman with Jude Law. Oh, Black Rabbit. I think I'm thinking of Black Phone.
No, did I hear you correctly? Did you say David Jaffe and Gene Park?
Yeah, they're doing a show together.
That's a good Oscar and Harriet combination right there.
Yeah, that'll be funny. You made the mistake of starting Deep Rock Galactic Survivor yesterday. Yep, good luck. Good luck breaking that habit. You'll be going for a while. That is an addicting little game. If it was on console, I'd be in trouble. 8 episodes, limited series, no cliffhanger. I have seen black and white clips of Bateman and... Oh, what's the guy's name with the great low voice from Arrested Development? Dadgummit. What is his name?
No, I do not want
Will Arnett.
on that.
It's
Don't even want an instance.
It's Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and the guy from Will and Grace. What was his name? The other guy. Sean Hayes. So it's Will Arnett, Sean Hayes, and Jason Bateman just hanging out and traveling and doing something, and their chemistry is wonderful. Like you're like, man, I wish I would just hang out with these guys and not talk. I would just sit and listen. They're such a cool little group of friends. The way that Bateman and Arnett interact is like, it is a B12 shot. It just feels great watching them joke back and forth. They're so funny. I don't know what it's from. I don't know if it's like a series that they're doing or something, but the clips were fabulous. I laughed every time. Okay. Yep. Yep. I'm going to call it, chat. Thanks for all the support today. In an hour, a Wolverine upload will hit the channel. Do me a favor and give that some support and some love. I greatly appreciate it. And, yeah. Thanks for the love and support to today. The turnout on the live show was fun. Your guys' support with memberships is definitely needed and helpful, so thank you for that. It's from their Smartless live tour. Okay, that's what it's from. Thank you. All right. Well, yeah, we'll do it again tomorrow, chat. Thanks so much, and we'll keep working on the goal. We've, maybe I need something down in the corner to actually post the incentive. Maybe I should put a picture down there. That might help. We don't have one, and that could be hurting us. In any case, we'll see you tomorrow.
Let's put a little picture of a guy pushing a shopping cart down there.
Shopping cart?
Yeah.
We're gonna
think it through.
We're gonna play a spooky game on Friday night. All right, appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.